What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It is Shy Baby the Moon Child, and I flow with the divine waters of love and purpose. And today, we're going to talk about letting go in order to heal. Let's get it. All right, you guys, what's good? Welcome back again to my channel. So, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm breathing hard because listen here. 31 weeks of pregnancy is here. I got 8 more to go, y'all. So I am getting excited. I am ready to have my little bundle of joy, number 5, and the last of the Mohegans. So, let's jump into it. So this week I wanted to speak about letting go in order to heal. And a lot of us have a lot of things from our past, from our childhood, that a lot of our personalities and a lot of our emotions and feelings stem from. And before I never really understood that hurt and pain from the past, from your childhood, things that you never understood and got over, is a definitely big effect on the life that you live now. I never understood that until I started my journey on healing and, dealing with certain feelings and emotions and pain that I had. And this is something that is vital in the process of change, in the process of evolving, because we don't realize how much we hold on to. We don't realize that. And when I'm sorry, I felt like something flew on me or something. I got the window cracked open, so I thought but yeah, so that is a vital important step in changing and evolving. And a lot of people tend to kind of sweep things under the rug, or kind of like shove it to the back of their mind and kind of try to forget about it. But the thing with that is it never really goes nowhere. Um, it sits there until there's a trigger, or until something comes up that brings those emotions out, until they see a certain person or they hear a certain song, or something that takes them down that memory lane, and it hits a soft spot, it hits a hurt spot. And then those feelings, they come back, and then it's like it feels like you're reliving it all over again. And the thing is in order to get rid of that, in order to not have to go down that memory lane and feel that pain, you have to deal with it. You have to first revisit. You have to understand why you were hurt. You have to understand, why you didn't understand. You have to understand that, whatever and whoever played what parts of that situation, you kind of gotta, um, what am I trying to say? I always get tongue twisted and tongue tied when I'm trying to explain something. Make peace with it. You have to make peace with it, because, it happened. It's really not anything that you can do to turn back and redo whatever it was, or stop whatever it was. The only thing you can do is make peace with it and let it go. Deal with those emotions. When you begin to feel that anger and you feel that hurt, don't push it away. Don't push it away. You deal with that. You sit with that for a minute, and you vent that. Even if it's speaking out loud, if you write about it, if you dance it out. If you, whatever you do, is so many things that we can do to vent things out in a healthy way and to release it and get rid of it. Whatever it is that you can do, you have to deal with it first, because if you just keep sweeping it away, it's just going under the rug, or it's just getting set in a back storage in your brain. It hasn't went nowhere. It hasn't been dealt with. It hasn't been confronted. That's just like your fears. You have to confront that in order to get rid of it. So when it comes to inner trauma, childhood trauma, from the past, you got to deal with it. You have to. You have to sit on those emotions and try to understand it, and see, where was it that you got hurt at. Don't so much try to understand why you were hurt. Don't so much try to understand why this person would do this, why this person would do that. Just try to understand your emotions. Why am I still feeling like this? Why after all this time am I still feeling this pain and hurt as if I was still there? If it's as if the situation was still present in my life. You want to try to understand that. And then your next step is you want to accept that, look, it is what it is. This happened to me. I was a child. I didn't understand. I didn't know how to express myself to try to get understanding. The situation could be so messed up, but I can't do anything about it right now. The most thing I can do is make peace and forgive if I need to forgive myself, because sometimes we get upset. We get upset with ourselves because we didn't know. We didn't stop it. We wasn't strong enough to walk away. We wasn't mentally strong enough to comprehend. And at that point, you have to forgive yourself. You have to understand that you weren't strong enough, or, physically or mentally, you didn't understand. It's not your fault. And we can be so hard on ourselves and be like, well, you should have, you should have, you should have. When at that moment of time, you couldn't. You wasn't able to. Whatever that situation may be, you have to forgive yourself. You have to understand that it was not your fault. You did not have the understanding that you do now. You have done a lot of growing. And you have to forgive, and then you have to let it go. You have to forgive yourself and let it fly, because you can't change the events and the things that went on in the past. You can't do anything about it, but just understand that this is something, that happened out of your control. And, you have to forgive yourself. You have to gain an understanding of your emotions, and then just let it go. Let it go. Because if you keep holding on to that, it's not going to do nothing but just hinder a lot of things for you. A lot of relationships. Or, it's going to continue to allow fear to drive your decisions and the way you live. And we don't want to live like that. You want to live free. You want to be able to, do whatever it is that you want to do, and not have the weight of the past determining and driving the decisions and choices that you make. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But you have to be willing to go down that journey of healing. You have to be willing to deal with these emotions and let whatever come out, come out. If you got to write a letter to somebody and rip it up, if you don't want to actually give them that letter, just write out all your emotions. Write out everything you feel and just rip it up. And as you ripping up, you say in your head, you letting all this go. This don't serve you no purpose. And let it fly. Throw it out. Burn it. A lot of us that's into spirituality and do a lot of things with casting, we do these healing rituals. We do these things to where any type of negative emotions that no longer serve us purpose, we do whatever it is we need to do, and we let it go. We burn it out our life. We rip it up and toss it to the wind. We let it go. You know, and not everybody has to go down that road or do it that way, but find your way to deal with these emotions and this hurt and pain that you've been through in the past. Accept it for what it is. You know, understand that it wasn't your fault. At that time, you couldn't do anything. You know, from whatever it is, the reason may be, forgive yourself, let it go. So you can begin to start that healing process. So you won't have so many triggers. So you won't go down so many negative memory lanes, you know? And you can be able to evolve into the person that you want to be. Your spirit can be free. You don't have to have that heavy weight on you, that heavy weight sitting on you, that anger sitting on you. Because that's not what you want when you're moving on in life. And then a lot of things will get delayed from you because you're not ready to have it. You're not ready to have it. And that goes from relationships. Because if you got so much hurt, pain, and bags, you know, Erykah Badu, bag lady, you gon' hurt your back, dragging all them bags like that. I love that song because it's facts. You can't take all this heavy weight and hurt and move it with you to another relationship and think that, oh, I'm with somebody new now, so everything's going to be okay, you know, because it's not. All that's going to happen is that those bags and that hurt that you're carrying is going to spill over into your next relationship. And if you haven't dealt with it, and if you haven't, you know, begin your healing process with it, it's going to cause a lot of things. It's going to cause friction. It's going to cause a lot of toxic energy. It's going to cause a lot of negative things to happen, you know, around your relationship. Whether it's a new job, you know, whether it's becoming a business owner, a home owner, you have to be mentally in a mental state to where you can process things without emotions, without feelings. You can deal with people without bringing those past emotions and hurts and feelings into whatever situation is going on. So you have to learn to heal. You have to learn to let it go. Or it's going to hunt you for the rest of your life, and you going to die, and you're going to be buried with all that hurt with you. It's all going to go with you, you know? And that's not what we want. We want to live a free life. It feels so good to be free. You know, it feels so good to not be so angry at something that has happened and always get into this depressive state. You know, I still go through my things. I recently went through something. You know, we're all still human. But if you decide to continue to heal, to continue to deal with these emotions, to continue to understand them so that, you know, you won't have that situation where it consumes you, this will help you when you're evolving. This will help you when you're trying to get to the next level of your life, when you're going down your path, whichever path that may be. So, you know, dealing with those emotions, understanding them, accepting them, forgiving yourself, letting go to get to this healing process is something that we all need to do, because everybody goes through something. Nobody on this earth is exempt, and we're not going to always be understood. And that's something else that we have to come to terms with. Everyone is not always going to understand our pain. Everyone is not always going to sympathize with our pain. And if that's the case, so be it. You have to deal with that in your own way. If people can't understand and people aren't able to give you what you need in order to help with whatever situation it is, then you got to find it in you to give that to yourself. And forgive them for not being able to understand. Because not everyone does. Not everyone is able to. Not everyone can comprehend that. And so instead of getting angry with somebody because you don't understand me, you know, just accept that and do what you need for yourself to heal and to let go so that it won't even be an issue anymore. And forgive them for that. Don't be upset because people don't understand your pain or people can't relate. We all live in our own lives. We're all on our own paths. You know, it's up to us to heal. It's up to us to want to live that free spirited life. It's up to us. It's not up to nobody else. It's up to us. So I'm going to stop it right here. And I appreciate everyone taking the time out to watch. I got a couple new subscribers, so I'm getting excited. Again, if it's 1 to 2 people or if it's 100,000 to 200,000, I'm just hoping that my words of encouragement and, you know, advice could help somebody to trust the process and change and evolving, because change is beautiful if you do it in a healthy way. Evolving is amazing, and you can open up so many doors for yourself. So I will see y'all back here next week. Y'all be safe out there, and let's get the healing. Let's do it. It's worth it. So all right, guys, see you later.